the supervisor's office the Wednesday prior to a Monday meeting. Then it in turn was posted on the online, I believe, Tracy, by 4:30 on Friday afternoon, which means that the public can look into it, the people in the town can look into it, and if there's any questions, you don't have minutes or hours, you have days to investigate. None of you should have voted yes on anything, as far as I'm concerned. And until you start researching things, it's a joke.
Weren't your meetings held on Monday?
Yes, they were.
So they were posted by 4 o'clock on Friday?
No. The agendas had to be in my office by the Wednesday prior to the Monday meeting.
And
they were posted on the online at the website by 4:30 on Friday night so that the public could go to them.
That's what I mean. They were posted on Friday evening.
Correct. So that everybody had adequate time to look at them over the weekend, on Monday morning. There was almost, how many days are there?
Well, that was my point.
If you're working, as Mark said, he's not working. So he can look at it any time. Vern, he's got a job. Mike's got a job. Tim's got a job. Everybody's got a job.
But that was my point. You know, yours were posted at 4:30 on Friday. You had a meeting on Monday. The requirement, you know, is they want to see the preliminary agenda. And it should have gone out. That was a miscommunication with my secretary. It should have gone out on Friday. It was ready.
No matter when mine went out, yours aren't going out.
Well, they are.
That's the bottom line.
They are going out.
And I would suggest
they're going out internally.
But it doesn't do any good. Deborah used to chastise me for not being able to look at them over the weekend.
I did, didn't I?
I just want to.
Do you remember that? I distinctly remember that.
I just want to.
We got two sets of rules going here.
Well, we really don't. You know, I apologize for the agendas not getting out, but many changes have been made.
Well, I don't want to prolong this anymore, but I would suggest that you get it out in an orderly fashion so that everybody can look at it.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Actually, I was patient, a little slow tonight, not to be able to get up to the microphone before a couple of people jumped up here 2 or 3 times. So, I'm curious how many of us have a copy of the comprehensive plan that was developed by Kent Environmental Planning in 2006. Mark, do you have one by the chance?
I did not. 2006.
It's a comprehensive site plan for the town.
I believe I have that.
Okay.
I don't know how it's 2006.
I know Vern may have one because he was only member.
It was accepted in 2007.
2006 it was put together. It was probably adopted in 2007. He was the only member of the board that's currently on the board that probably have a copy. You have one, Mr. McCollum?
Website.
The website? It should all have a hard copy. I know we've been talking a little bit about some development in town, some feasibility studies which I was looking at regarding some of the problems we have with the east-west connector, Route 31, which was brought up tonight, which has been gridlocked. This was 8 years ago. Some of the comments that were made 8 years ago regarding the town anticipates short-term traffic capacity issues on Route 11, south of Route 31, and Route 31, and issues connecting and with turning movements at the intersection of Route 31 and Route 11. Now, this is like 8 years old. We had these problems then, they were being addressed. They still haven't been addressed. I think, and we've gone through this before, I know Chet's administration, I believe, Judy's administration, the state of New York basically, when you ask them to do something regarding what the town needs to be done, I think they just turn their back. I could say they'll laugh in your face, but I'll just say they turn their back. We've got a lot of substandard intersections. We've got sections, and I always tease Councilor Coral, the legislator Coral. I said, I'm glad you have to drive it every day from your office where the school district is, where the school is, all the way down to Route 31. That road hasn't been paved since 1995. They could have paved it 5 times with all the patching they've done out there. We did it in 1995. That was the last time it was done. Why the state refuses to go in there and fix something like that, which could be a very quick fix, maybe a day and a half, I don't understand. They came in about 4 months ago to do a Crabtree sign study, if you recall. I see a message board. I didn't even look because I didn't go down Crabtree. I don't know what it's all about. Are there any signs there? It was such a critical mass to make sure nobody got killed at that intersection. I don't see any signs there yet, do you?
They're going to be up on Monday, I guess.
I'm sorry?
Sign says it'll be there Monday.
Is that what the message board says? Stay tuned till Monday?
Yep, yep.
All right. Anyway, I think it's important that this was all laid out. There's some good ideas in here. I think it's been sitting on the shelves. It needs to be looked at a little bit. I know you got a lot of things to do. I'm very surprised this town board has got so much time to look at all the invoices, because I think the people in this town elected us to lead and have a vision. I think if you're busy looking at all the minor things that the department heads have to look at, that you don't have a lot of time to do anything else, and I think that's very important to do. I will also point out something, having been to a lot of board meetings, as other people in this audience have been, I would be hard pressed to know you all belong to the same party and I won't bring you a party. I see a lot of dissension. I see a lot of disrespect, and I see quite a bit of it coming out of Councilor McCowell towards his fellow members. I think being a little more gracious and using a better demeanor might produce better results. And I would also say to the supervisor, I've seen in past administrations where a counselor refused to take an assignment as a liaison. But I would also say to you, if I had a counselor that refused to be a liaison for a department, as is the case that came up tonight, I would replace that person with someone who's capable of doing that job.
Anybody else?
Just for my own note, if I could, sorry. Tonight I was coming home on 81 northbound. The thought occurred to me as traffic was backed up. I didn't know where it was. It appeared to be Cicero exit. I thought what I've thought many times before. Dear God, somebody's dead on the side of the road up there because they got their car up on the side of 81 trying to get down the Cicero exit. And it's my personal belief that maybe that's what it's going to take before the state. It's a terrible thing to think. But as those cars line up every night at 5 something up off of the exit, up on the side of 81, I'm fearful that somebody's going to get hurt up there. So,
Just not to prolong this tonight, but the state of New York promised me $22 million for road improvements to the center of Cicero, probably, well, whenever I was supervisor. As you can see, it hasn't happened. I would suggest that you get a hold of your federal and your state officials, since they're the ones with the purse strings, because that's where the problem exists. They're great at making promises, but they never come through with the check. You should have learned that by now. You got to lean on these guys and basically embarrass them, because it's a mess out there. And it's not going to get any better, because they're going to promise, the next time you guys have a meeting, I'll bet you they promise you about $30 million, because it bumped up a little bit more, and they promised me. And by the time I'm dead and gone, they'll be promising the next one 50. That's all they do, is they just keep, it's a knee-jerk reaction with a Band-Aid approach. They're never going to fix anything here unless you guys and lady, do something to persuade them that you got a problem. Because they're not going to do it on their own. They got too many other problems of their own. And as far as Mike McCowell being supposedly beating up on people, you have a right to express your opinion. And I applaud you for that. Because most elected officials won't do that for fear that either the party or the people won't re-elect them in the next election. That's your job to voice your opinion. Some people may take offense to it. Some people may look at it as constructive criticism. But you're right to do that. I have more respect for you than I have somebody who would sit in the corner and say nothing but go home and sit at the kitchen table and mumble about it. At least you have the courage to confront an issue in public.
Can I ask you a question about what the $22 million was for?
What was that?
Were there any specific projects in that $22 million?
The intersection that Tom Blue just spoke about.
Okay.
They always talk about the corridor through the middle of town, and they do absolutely nothing. We approached them with a possible cut in the interstate down where Plainville Turkey Farm used to be. That was a great idea. As you can see, it's never happened. We also talked to them about a road parallel to Route 81 heading south so that we could have a longer line to line the cars up in. As you can see, that's never happened. The federal government and the state government are great at lip service. and they never come through with anything because it costs money, and they promised you and probably 50 other towns and villages all over the state millions and millions of dollars, and it never comes through.
At the meeting yesterday or day before yesterday, the SMTC said that the Highway Trust Agency was totally out of money. Totally out of money.
Famous last words.
Well,
Chet, there was many days that we went down to the state DOT
Yes, we did.
and we'd walk in and they forget our names. You go back 2 weeks later, they forget your name. And I'll tell you what, the meeting yesterday, there was probably 25 or 30 people. And when you got 25 or 30 people, you get nothing done.
Exactly.
You need 5 people or
Exactly.
4 people.
The less the better.
What's SMTC?
Syracuse Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Anybody else? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, ladies and